something else. That Kenji. I'm the first person in class today, although I think I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting here alone here for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts making me feel really tired. I black out for a second, waking up when my head hits the surface of my desk. Bam! Whoa! Oh, God! I've actually done that before, and it's kind of painful. Rubbing my forehead, I realized this is a good reason as any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early later. Eventually, I hear a tapping noise outside in the hallway, and Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. She's not in this class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako. Lily stops at the door, looking hesitant as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I considered doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there. She steps in on her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar as if it was importance to look prim while entering a classroom. "Excuse me," she calls in the quiet room with a probing, delicate voice. I realize the silence must unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. "Good morning, Lily." "Isao, good morning. I didn't hear you come in." I wonder if she thinks it's suspicious I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely. If I were to tell her too big a lie now, it would sink me. Well, I was already here, just asleep until now. "Oh, have you seen Hanako today by any chance?" "No, she seems to only come in just before the bells ring, or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you?" "No, it's fine. It's strange, but I think you're the only two people... Oh, we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on my way here." I shouldn't have gone up so early today, I guess. "You're chastising yourself for doing something that other people should? Punctuality is a good thing. I think so, anyway." "It's a very busy morning today. The festival's coming up soon, and today is the deadline for the event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. It could be that everyone is trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that is why it's so quiet today." Hi, hi! Well, there goes the entrance of the storm here. Misha pops into the room with Shizune as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch. "Hi-chan!" "Hi." "Look, it's the class representative! Hello!" Lily smiles, probably amused by Misha or Shizune's use of the word look. "Good morning." "Of course you're not the representative of this class, right?" "Right." "I'm not." Lily seems a little more guarded in her answers to Shizune than she was with me the other day. I guess they really don't get along at all. Then I realized that Lily might actually not know Shizune is present, and she's trying to detect whether or not she is, to know who she is talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha, but knowing that she and Misha are practically inseparable, she might expect Shizune being the one that actually talks. This truly is an interesting dilemma for Lily, I can tell you that. Dang, how complicated. I decided to help Lily out for my own peace of mind more than anything else. "You're here early, Shizune." "You were here even earlier than us." Misha puffs out her cheeks angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Shizune's behalf too? It's like they're one together. One entity. It's not that weird, though, that Shizune didn't like my little comment. It's true, I was here earlier than them. So me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Shizune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gauge intent. Before I can start weighing wherever and how I should apologize, Shizune has already moved on. "Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk. The festival's coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their projected budget reports for their events. Even the first years, except you." There's still time to hand it in, isn't there? "Today. The deadline is today. You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I'd have had all the necessary paperwork days ago. But someone had to say the deadline. Please extend it." "Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale is not a small task, and a week is too small a time frame to expect a whole class to work out such a complex issue completely." "Do you want to know what's harder than distributing the funds for one class's event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school and then some. That one who does that is me." Misha puts her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, she's really getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused, though. Misha could be an actress. For Shizune only, though. Hey, Shizune, aren't you being a little too hard on her? There's still a whole day left. Please, Hisao, it's all right. Lily seems happy I'm taking her side, but a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself. If this is about the budget, then I'm disappointed you think I have forgotten about it. I understand how important it is. Then, can I have it, please? She might not have it on her at this exact second. It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me, students from my class. She emphasizes the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about Shizune and Misha's efforts to rope me into the student council. I guess word must have gone around, so now she's using me as ammo against Shizune. Things just get better and better. It was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should just be delegating away. As a class rep, it's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for proper procedure is really just terrible. They completed it, being capable of doing so, but the students have been sick recently, so they could not come back to school and give it back to me. If you want, I will apologize on their behalf for getting sick. Okay. Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, woo! Shizune doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended by Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge. Oh dear. This is it. Supervillains on one side, silent defender now turned protector of the Yamaku on the other. This is the battlegrounds right here, and I am just an innocent bystander. Lily, don't they live here at the school? That's a 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop off something that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class? Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shizune closes the gap between them and starts signing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. You know she can't see you. You know she can't see the fury in your hands. It's pointless, Shizune. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal. And what's with that attitude? I said it's not something you should be delegating away. Are you the class representative or aren't you? Tell me the names of those 2 students. They should have your job if you can't even handle something this simple yourself. One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of. Lily's tone is growing slightly impatient, but she is doing a good job of not letting Shizune see how unsettled she is becoming. She's playing her cards close to her chest. Shizune, on the other hand, wraps her fingers cheerfully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither hear nor see how excited she is. Of course, you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being you. Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without even a hint of sarcasm, which they were meant to have. Shizune and Lily don't like each other. That much is clear. But this seems a little much. This seems a little over the top. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back. Whoa! Oh my goodness! Panty shot! Did you see that? Did you see the panty shot? I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. That would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you. You're right. The difference between us is like heaven and hell. Whoa. Whoa, let's just back up a couple paces. You're going a little over the edge there, Shizune. It's not hard to guess which one you might represent. Oh! Bam! Woo! Panty shot! There it is again. See, this is their... She's got that superhero pose. Lily is just like totally just like rocking that pose, and she's the supervillain. She's got that glint in her glasses and everything. I called it. I called it. Tell me this is like the biggest conflict in the rest of the game, because this is, if it goes the way I think it is going to go, this is going to be awesome. Complete total breakdown, civil war in the entire school. You got to take sides and everything. It's just, that would be great if it actually went that way. Anyway, back to story. The air between them ripples with the heat of their enmity. Well, not really. They can't disguise it anymore, though. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation. Wow, you just caught up, Misha. Welcome to the party. Choose a side. He-chan, don't you slack off either. No, don't you even rope me into this. What are you talking about? Aren't you taking part in the festival, He-chan? You are, aren't you? Then I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person. I don't understand why Shizune is suddenly getting mad at me. I have a feeling this is a very pivotal decision here. If I do Don't Drag Me Into This, I've done my part. I think I'm ostracizing all of them. However, if I'd say cut me and Lily some slack, I'm just ostracizing Shizune and Misha. But I'll have Lily in my corner. Ooh, this seems like a very innocent choice, but I think this is going to be a rather big choice here. Okay. Between the three of them, I'm actually more partial to Lily because, I don't know, the other two girls are way too pushy for me, and I'll probably end up being like the stepping stool to their greater victories and their greater... I'm the means to an end, pretty much, to them, and I don't really want to be that, so I'm going to stick with Lily here. Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much even if I wanted. That's right, you shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into this on the first week. Lily taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decided to back her up, too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with us both. Excuses, excuses. Miss Class Rep has had plenty of time to deal with her report. And we repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work, but you refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success. Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if... I don't have time for this right now. No matter what I do, it will mean being drawn into a confrontation with Shizune, and that is what she wants. Whatever, forget it. I turn my back at them. Lily, class is going to be starting soon, so we can talk more later. I'll tell Hanako you were looking for her. Wow, I just shut down Misha and Shizune. I don't even think they're gonna be friends with me anymore after this. I think I've just completely burned that bridge. I can feel Shizune freezing. Maybe this is the first time she has ever been ignored in such a blunt manner. Thank you, Hisa. I'll leave now, then. She gives me the sweetest smile I've seen all week and turns on her heels to make her exit. As soon as Lily walks out the door, I suddenly start feeling reluctant about turning to face Shizune. Oh, gosh. I can feel her eyes burning into my back. I can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. I keep expecting Misha to say something to alleviate the tension, but it really is wanting too much. In the end, I go back to my seat and listen to the sound of Shizune's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. Hinako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbook lazily. I have a bit of catching up to do, despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but I'm not really feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock at the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they are right there in the textbook. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do. So I stay for a while reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with the crowding in the hallways. I noticed Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune's sounding so fast that her hands make noises like swords cutting through the air. Swing, swing, swing! Maybe there is pent-up anger there. She's actually frustrated. Shh. Misha's trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. She soon signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters. And then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha is underappreciated here. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished and the girls sit down in their seats again. I'm so tired. She's hanging her head limply on their desk, looking exhausted. Here we go. I'll use the opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit, without getting roped into the student council thing again, though I suspect that door is now closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in the school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone be so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me. But in the end, she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. Am I supposed to do something right now? She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously. Well, of course, we're in the student council, you know, so we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all of our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of the past student council generations if the festival were to fail. That's why there must be no flaws. No. Or I think that was encumbrances. No. Nothing that would make the festival short of perfect. Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's enacting are really oddly fitting of them. Oh, hello. Look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door. Hey, playing delinquent again? Okay, that wasn't nice, Misha. You take that back. Hanako's blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Oh, no. Okay, I knew I didn't like these girls. Now they're going to gang up on her and take their anger out on her. Misdirected blame. They're doing guilty by association, by proxy, because she hangs out with Lily, and they're going to go after her because of that fact. Because they're going to try and get at Lily through her, and this is wrong. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the door, point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she's showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. Yes! See, I called it. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako? Has Lily been here? Sorry, haven't seen Sato. Sure, came by in the morning, though. Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she's intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems. Do you know where she is? If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom working on their festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering at? You need to find her? She was looking for you in the morning, but I guess you have missed each other. She waits a little without answering the simple question, looking awfully like she's not sure if it's proper to answer such a question. Yeah. I can come with you, if it's okay. Hanako... Wow. I totally butchered that. Hanako nods fractionally, still on guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. I get the feeling that she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's too late to back off now. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear almost constantly, one that makes me constantly be on guard myself. I wonder why. I kind of understand why she always seems to be so wary, or maybe more like why there could be a person like her. But I still have no idea how I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Were you planning to eat with Lily? She nods slightly. So she must have been trying to get in the cafeteria. Well, there's something of a dinner crowd, just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad because dinner time is longer than lunch hour, but I can understand why Hanako could be discouraged from going in. I pick up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed.